Yo, sí.
que el chample estuviera expulsando al árbitro. Yo únicamente me estoy devolviendo su tarjeta y hablando del sitio donde se salió a usted. Gracias, chample. ¿Por qué? Porque tengo la mente llena de cosas que iba a discutir de la segunda. No, señor, yo únicamente. Pero es que yo únicamente le cuento.
So just moments away from kickoff is shout out there to Alexander Guimaraes, a couple of rows down. It's funny how football kind of turns things, you know, that you saw. It's happened to see him on television yesterday. They were showing the 1990 World Cup match between Costa Rica and Brazil. Of course, they show him coming on for Juan Callaso, so it was kind of interesting to see him at the stadium here. For the United States, a couple of changes. One of the more notable ones, of course, over at left back, Austin Trusty getting the start, the young man from the Philadelphia Union. And up top, Emmanuel Sabi getting the start, his first. He's already been on the pitch once for Tab Ramos, so it'll be interesting to see a bit of a dynamic change, not necessarily the same type of number 9 that you saw with Jeremy Ebobisse.
Well, throughout the tournament, Jeremy Ebobisse has been working very well with Brooks Lennon. Ebobisse has 2 assists for the team lead, so it'll be interesting to see how Lennon works with Sabi up top.
As you see right there, the referees, and you see, of course, the captain shown a great deal of charisma throughout this tournament. Eric Palmer Brown. As for El Salvador, Diego Cartagena, who came off the bench in the 6-1 defeat at the hands of Mexico, he gets the start. Fernando Castillo also has some playing time, and it'll be interesting to see how these two players, Castillo, who was, I guess if you want to start looking at silver linings, was that silver lining for El Salvador. Of course, also you start looking at some other opportunities that El Salvador did have that didn't go in, but he was one of those bright spots for La Selecta.
Well, and he scored just a fabulous free kick goal, which was really the shining moment for El Salvador against Mexico. Unfortunately, that goal didn't lift the team, and in fact, it probably pushed Mexico a little more towards getting another goal or two in order to leave the game without any doubt.
Yeah, in a way, now looking at that game in retrospect, it's more of a wake-up call for Mexico, because they kind of were, you know, a little bit too calm. And it was a wake-up call, and Mexico just took over from that point on.
Well, we definitely saw a different Mexico team, played with a lot more joy, and definitely manifested itself on the pitch that evening.
Oh, absolutely, and we'll see how that translates.
That's you? That's him! You're a YouTuber? What? He's a YouTuber. No, you can do it. He's gonna subscribe. I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. Let me see. I can make a YouTube channel. Be the kick. How? No. Random Pokemon battles. It's a wild ghastly spawn. Rocket jump.
Knows that he has to find a rebound. Just the amount of experience these players have gained over the years. And looking at the starting lineup, 3 of the players have already played in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League. So you can see what he means.
They have, and they've had opportunities at the international level. They've had a bit of experience domestically offside there on Josué Rivera.
Is that what he's doing?
And it's a good point that you make, Scott, because of the fact that we've seen how some of these youngsters have not only just performed, but also the experience that they've gained out of it. Not just being on the starting 11 or on a bench. That's been the difference so far. It's been everything else, how they've been able to act, how they've been able to understand the game much better.
Well, experience is a lot about how you use it. And if you want to take this tournament as an example, the U.S. has been using that experience very well. And you're seeing it in a lot of different ways, defensively, offensively. Transition, they cover very well when the other team looks to counterattack. And this is how the team has grown.
Rivera looking to go out wide to Kevin Reyes.
And you're gonna see it.
Not much going on there is Salvador. Key for them is to position well. There's a lot of times. I mean, one player, of course, that stood out the most from a positional standpoint was Josué Rivera. At times was playing even as a left back, if you will, and allowing Mexico, because of the balls that would bounce out, that would be cleared out. There's only one, maybe 2 players that were there to really recover, cause any problems as the man goes down, but no foul being called by referee Barea of Panama. Of course, he'll be assisted by Ronald Bruna, his fellow compatriot, first assistant. Second assistant, Melvin Cruz. And fourth referee, Melvin Matamoros, as the ball into the air. Here's a good chance for El Salvador, but it comes short as Vlad able to recover it. Torres dropped back a little bit more to help with the recovery and also Shin in the middle. It's Vlad. This back line with Vlad and Redding anchoring it has become more solid with every passing week. And also when you have a player that has been looked at as he's always been a central defender here, Palmer Brown. And the president called this tournament the Eric Palmer Brown experiment because of him playing as defensive midfielder. But he's shown that he can be very polyfunctional. He's one of those players that can be really interesting, Scott.
Well, we just saw in El Salvador's previous foray into the U.S. box that
With a free kick opportunity coming up.
well, Lendon has been fundamental to the team's success with 4 goals team high and creating goals. He uses open space maybe better than any player I've seen at the tournament, and he's very quick to the ball in the penalty area.
Inside to Dominguez. Klinsman right there to grab that ball. Not sure if Dominguez was able to redirect it, but awfully close.
Bruce Lennon was with the Liverpool Academy and was recently loaned to Real Salt Lake. And so we'll be reporting there once this tournament's over.
It's getting started in Major League Soccer this weekend. Adams. Williamson going to Brooks Lennon. That'll be an interesting matchup, since Brooks Lennon getting the best out of that one. Martinez has to come out, and Dominguez under duress there. Martinez looks like at least his hair's okay. So there, Manuel Sabi causing all types of problems.
May have almost clipped the goalkeeper's top of his head with the left cleat. And also one there we saw Lennon again, how quick he is to a ball. And very good pass, very good vision.
Drew has a man wide open on the opposite side, but way too much time to send it in that direction was Castillo. Rivera also waiting, but he's marked by Fossey as well as Brooks Lennon as Lennon pushes out. Shot that'll go wide of target. Not seeing acres of space that were on that far side.
We saw that the other night too, how many times we see El Salvador dribble up the middle. Literally 7 Mexican players would converge. There'd be 2 plays open, one on the left, one on the right. Mexico would win the ball anyway.
Marquez, the foul committed by the young man from Alianza.
Marquez is not afraid to get involved when there's a 50-50 shot at a ball.
That's one of the qualities he's shown, is a ball intended for Sabi. Drops it back for Williamson. Trusty now making his run down the left-hand side, but it gets cleared away. Still a match where we're seeing both teams at least showing their cards, but no one really threatening the opposing goal. So U.S. already with their 3rd corner kick of the half. We're just barely getting into the 15th minute of play.
One, Brooks Lennon taking the corner from the left side, and this is where he took it against Mexico, and Palmer Brown was able to leap high at the 6-yard box to have the ball into the net.
Speaking of which, they have a tight mark there. Is man-to-man marking inside the area. Low ball there, driven by Brooks Lennon, and it's cleared away. Recovered by Luca de la Torre, going back to Lennon. Palmer Brown waiting top of the 18, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer as it's going to be a throw-in. Sabi has the ball waiting for him, but again, another chance, another opportunity, and Tyler Adams with the ball. Trusty for Lennon, who can't set that ball through. Fossey battling with Castillo. Able to bring it back as it's going to be, again, Emmanuel Sabi. Top of the defender, again, just looking to clear it out any which way possible. Vlad once more, patrolling the middle and doing it solidly, transporting it down the wing. Right out of space on the far side, it'll be El Salvador looking to reset, which they didn't. Now the U.S. recovering on defense and recovering the ball in the process, while El Salvador battled back for it.
Well, we've seen in the first 15 minutes, El Salvador's played very calmly, controlled, organized. Now over the last 2 minutes, we've seen it kind of unraveling just slightly.
Brooks Lennon took a hit there, but was able to get the ball. Fortunately for the U.S. attack, Lennon was making the run, and Sabi really didn't have anyone to connect with. His play will be stopped, and the U.S. medical staff will come on to treat the aforementioned Brooks Lennon.
One bright spot for El Salvador is the fact that at this point in the game against Mexico, they were already down 3-0. And now they have it 0-0.
Well, yeah, and we've seen that because, I guess, intent, mostly, and I'm talking about intent by El Salvador to be able to pressure and be able to really clash in the middle. You see right there. Referee might have, one would have had an argument there for a card because the ball was long gone. Palmer Brown. Trusty all by himself down the left-hand side as De La Torre cuts back into the middle. Adams, nice ball for Sabi. He's onside, and it's the U.S. with the lead. 1-0. Emmanuel Sabi with his first of the tournament. Just sliced, just dissected that ball. Look at this wonderful pass in the middle. 1-0.
Well, and that really all started with the move De La Torre had near the midfield line to free himself and turn. That got the U.S. engine running, and Sabi finished it off.
Give a lot of credit to Eric Williamson on the play, too. Again, we just thought, well, but then again, how quickly the U.S. are able to connect when they are able to go and get in their groove, as you mentioned, and be able to find the open player. That's just the difference right there.
And we saw over those last few minutes, El Salvador was starting to get separated, pulled apart a little bit, and the U.S. finally was able to take advantage of it. They kicked it up just a little bit.
Just Lennon getting called with the foul. Now, this makes El Salvador's pretensions even much more difficult now. As what's the scenario? I mean, how does the scenario look like now if you're a Salvadorian fan or if you're a player?
Well, coming into it, El Salvador needed to win by 3 clear goals. And right now, that task has been made a lot harder being down a goal. The U.S., as we said earlier, though, only needs a draw or a win. And that's good enough to get them to the final and to the World Cup. They're in the driver's seat. El Salvador may be forced to come out of their game plan just a little bit to be a little more offensive, a little more urgent in the offensive end. They didn't need to be in the first 17, 18 minutes. Now they need to be.
And at the same time, when a team needs to be offensive, they end up leaving spaces in the back. So that kind of opens a whole dilemma there.
And the U.S. has shown throughout the tournament they can take advantage of it. They may not have converted all those counterattacks, but they've been able to get things moving forward as quickly as possible.
Diego Chavez warming up. So we'll see if he comes on, which looks like it's going to happen.
Diego Chavez had the task of kind of trying to keep Uriel Antuna under control the other night in the game against Mexico, and Antuna ended up with 3 goals. But Chavez did an incredible job considering it was a lot of one-on-one time.
So he will be coming on. Sabi giving Dominguez all sorts of trouble. So Denilson Rosales comes off. Chavez comes on. That'll be in the 21st minute.
Yeah.
Right there. And
He's a YouTuber. He's making a video.
Chavez goes.
I want to be a YouTuber.
Going to the far
Me
side.
too.
There's an unenviable task. A player, you would want to be in their shoes. And
Pokeball, go! You win.
Chavez, who's had
Happy birthday.
back-to-back tough assignments. You just mentioned Uriel Antuna. Then
Is it
guys on
18?
here is Denilson Rosales still being treated near the Salvadorian bench.
Help me. What?
As we see there, first goal.
With the loss of Rosales, he does offer a little bit of an offensive option too from the back. He had 1 goal in Central American qualifying, so Chavez maybe not as offensive, so it'll be interesting to see how they play from here.
Interesting how he defends against another player in that same position that's been dominant in Brooks Lennon. Which gets the ball right now, swept offside though.
Me
There's time to recover it.
That's how you sound.
Fossey.
You're a YouTuber. I don't care. Okay, fine. Who win? USA? Yay!
Impression, so I don't think I'm sticking with them.
Deputy, where are you?
Judging
Where's
by the way
Bradley?
he's playing this tournament, it's been a good choice.
Why you want me to be
Choice,
quiet?
yes. Brooks Lennon, too far for him.
Huh?
nearing the halfway mark in this match. As the U.S. with a goal by Emmanuel Sabi.
I'm gonna tell them.
That's the difference so far in this match. And at this stage, you could also make the argument that that's all the difference they need.
Can they put them a little louder?
Here's Rivera looking to take it wide. It takes too long to take it wide. The run being made by Kevin Reyes. Kevin Reyes.
Skeleton Army twice in a row. He's got to have it. He's got it.
Small play by Fasoleta to head the ball wide.
The link at the top there is to my Beam channel where I live stream. Usually like once or twice a day.
One of the basic things that they told those types of defenders, even goalkeepers at that age, take it wide. That was too put out wide. And his teammate Lennon was getting well positioned to receive that ball. Here's another chance for El Salvador, 4 on 5. Reyes.
I'm hot.
That ball to Trusty. Glad.
My shirt off.
Further out for Luca de la Torre, but too high for him.
Feels good.
Of course, this match will define who will be the second finalist for the CONCACAF Championship at the under-20 level. After this, we'll find out who is the fourth and final team representing CONCACAF is Panama and Costa Rica, two teams that have already lost to Honduras, who's already qualified into the final and into the World Cup. Those two teams know that a win will be necessary, especially for Panama. Draw will put Costa Rica in. As Sabi full speed ahead, he looks to turn it into third gear, but can't do it. It's recovered quickly by Adams. Now it's Palmer Brown. Eric Williamson dropping back. Brooks Lennon, the run being made in the middle by Marlon Fossey, and it's Dominguez clearing it out. Recovered again by Williamson. Another shot! From outside, one of the most beautiful goals of the tournament. Heads up play, Eric Williamson, 2-0. One, you could see that one coming. He approached that ball beautifully, and the technique to get into that left post, incredible. Look, just had it, said, you know what, I have the momentum. Take it for a ride, why not? He just got all of that one. Nothing Mario Martinez could do. Chesting it down, following through, off the left post and in. That may be your goal of the tournament right there. It's definitely a candidate for sure. Seeing Jorge Alvarez score like that and a player already warming up for the United States. Maryland Terrapin.
Don't see me either.
Showing the stuff. Tremendous. Hope that many teams at the professional level are looking at him. Of course, associated with DC United. Safe to say, after now, I don't think he'd probably be at the collegiate level very soon. Well, it's interesting that Williamson's only one of two U.S. daughters playing collegiately right now. So you have Klinsman in goal, and Williamson. I mean, Aaron Herrera is well with New Mexico, but he was injured. He's been unavailable as well. So yeah, but Williamson has shown some really good qualities. I mean, professional level qualities.
He's worth 7 elixir. I'll play him next time. Let's hope I win.
Been in that role very similar how he's been playing against Mexico. So, to use that as a reference, absolutely. So 2-0. The job is that much harder now for El Salvador. Now the U.S. just needs to keep its composure and see this thing through.
I'm hot.
Ball played away by Reddy.
He saw me. Why are you doing that?
Marcolada stands there stoic. Redding and finally Palmer Brown just cleared that ball away. Salvador. Nice play as it goes right through, but offside by Marvin Marquez. The idea was there, just spacing wasn't.
Well, just to show you the task that El Salvador has in front of it is that the U.S. has conceded 1 goal or fewer in its last 10 games in this tournament. So that's going to make it difficult. And the U.S. has not conceded a goal against El Salvador in their previous 3 games against them in this tournament. So it's a hill to climb right now, a mountain to climb.
Absolutely, and with no mountain here either, because they're not showing very many offensive recourses as well.
I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win.
Fossey. Space there, covered by De La Torre.
Fossey and De La Torre, the Fulham teammates. Trying to put the familiarity to good use.
Wow! Like I'm pretty sure. I'm so close to
Fossey
getting
now chasing it back as he goes over to Palmer Brown. Sabi waiting for the run in middle, but it's De La Torre being surrounded and finally gets taken away as Dominguez gets flashed. Check that.
Now do you want me to put the
Foul
budget in?
on Eric Palmer.
Okay, ow. Now do you want me to put the budget in? How much extra is this?